Alright, this is Mike from GetYourRockOut. I'm here with Chris from Winterfylleth, who's just played in Manchester. So how do you think it went, mate?
Great. It's nice to play a hometown show. Well, obviously for us it's a real pleasure to be on tour with Enslaved and to have the opportunity to kind of go out with them for 3 or 4 weeks. So really brilliant and great that it's sort of starting in our hometown and we're playing to a kind of friendly audience and getting the opportunity to kind of bring some new songs out and play the new record and it's a real positive step forward for the band and we're really chuffed to be kind of included in the tour. So yeah, great.
Cool. How were you approached to be on this tour?
Kind of in between the last 2 records that we did, so the 2010 album, The Mercy Sphere, and the new one, The Threnody of Triumph, we, excuse me, we started working with Paul Ryan, who works for a company called The Agency Group, who are now our kind of booking agency. Paul's a cool guy. He was the original guitar player in Cradle of Filth, first couple of albums, so like and he represents a lot of kind of big metal bands, so we started working with Paul through contacts at our label, and he's managed to kind of help us raise our profile and kind of get the shows that perhaps we wouldn't have got before, and help us kind of push the envelope into Europe and kind of playing alongside bands like Enslaved, and we did some stuff with Primordial earlier on in the year, and we played with Hell, people like that, so like kind of another level of band for us to kind of be involved with, so very, very positive. So it's all out to Paul really. I think that kind of like themselves have done a really good job getting our album in the press and like getting us kind of coverage and stuff, and that's helped to raise our profile. And as well, we've been trying to kind of keep writing good records and hopefully doing that, the kind of the stuff that helps all that. Like if you haven't got a good record, then it's hard to get people interested in it. So I'm hoping that people think we've got good records and want to kind of promote us and stuff. So that's where we are.
Well, on that note, then let's talk about your new album, The Threnody of Triumph. What do you think that this is a good indication of what your musical style is, or do you think you're still finding your sound?
Well, I think we're kind of getting there. I mean, as a band, you grow up, you get older, you develop, and all that sort of stuff. And I think that The Ghost of Heritage was kind of our first record, obviously, and I think we're really finding ourselves in that record. So when I hear that record now, I still love songs on that record. I still kind of love that record as a kind of raw, punky, black metal sort of sound. But I think we've kind of come on since then and developed this more kind of like flowing, I don't know, bit more melodic, bit more kind of choral vocals and all that sort of stuff in the sound, and kind of come on from the bit more kind of raw, punky stuff. And I think a lot of people like that, and we don't necessarily want to move away from that, but I think we're kind of really honing in on what we do now, so like a bit more the kind of leads on the new album, a bit more kind of atmosphere and flowing songs perhaps and all that sort of stuff. So I don't know, I think as a band you can only, in my opinion, I think it's good to make small kind of incremental changes to what you do, as opposed to just kind of going off the deep end and like making a drum and bass record with Skrillex or something like that. Do you know what I mean? It's like a lot of bands kind of think, oh, we've done this, so we have to do something different, or we have to kind of like, do an experimental record. And I know a lot of the bands I love and a lot of the bands I kind of respect and follow, as like Slaved or Primordial, ISIS, Iron Monkey, bands like that, from history, that I always really like them because they kind of stuck to their guns, did what they did, kind of kept building on what they did, changed it a little bit, kind of kept it moving forward, and I think that's where we are with it. So I'm hoping that's what we've done. And, I think that reflects in the new record, and I think we have found what Winterfylleth does. It's kind of atmospheric, epic black metal that's that's kind of true to who we are and what we want to sing about, the kind of stories of England and history and heritage and stuff like that, and stuff that we care about, and I hope that comes across in what we do. So that's the idea.
Well, you say that your music is inspired by the history and the heritage and landscapes. I mean, obviously that's a lyrical influence, but how does that influence the music, as you were saying, the atmosphere? How do you try and embody that?
I think, well, in terms of embodying atmosphere, I suppose it's trying to keep it dynamic, trying to keep it flowing and interesting, and trying to do something more than just the kind of basic, riff, drum beat. I think a lot of bands can find themselves in a monotony if they're not careful. And then again, some bands, as I said before, kind of go off the deep end and try and do something too different. So it's a fine line to kind of walk, really, I suppose, with that sort of stuff. And I think what we try to do is build on the I suppose the kind of epicness of the stories that we're trying to tell, and trying to incorporate a little bit of the kind of the light and the dark and the positive and the negative within that kind of the balance of the songs, and really try and create those atmospheres with the music and try and kind of create layers and multiple guitar leads and all that sort of stuff that kind of that build that atmosphere and keep the song kind of on an upward trajectory as opposed to it just kind of ebbing and flowing, all that kind of thing. I suppose. Don't know whether we always achieve that or not, but the end game is to try and do something that matters to us and that also has an impact, emotionally on people. I mean, we get a lot of people come up to say to us, "Oh, you're really atmospheric and like it really kind of affected me and stuff," and it's brilliant. It totally kind of, I suppose, validates what we do. I mean, not that we necessarily create it for that reason, but it's something that's really positive, and I don't know. I guess that's our idea, is to kind of to bring out emotions in people and to make them feel what we're doing and to make them be interested in what we have to say, perhaps. So if that comes across, then fantastic. That's the idea.
Now, are you one of those black metal bands that vitriolically hates other kinds of metal? And if so, who do you hate?
No, I don't think so.
I had to ask.
Yeah, of course. I think there's too much kind of being ultra elitist about things. I suppose that's why we don't do things like corpse paint. We don't go in for all that kind of ultra image stuff. I mean, we're interested in extreme metal. We're all fans of different kinds of extreme metal. Doom, death, extreme noise, ambient, all that sort. Even out of metal into kind of other forms of music. So the things that I really sort of hate. People like different music for different moods. You just kind of have to do what you do and hope that people relate to it. And I think when we write some of our records, some of the stuff we were listening to is like nothing to do with what we're kind of playing. But you take what influence you can from it in terms of how people write songs, or the melodies they use, or the way they structure vocal patterns, or all that sort of stuff. So I don't think it ever comes into it. But I don't think there's anything that we particularly hate as such. That's why we've never gone in for we've never gone for the corpse paint stuff. We've wanted to kind of be who we are and try and do something a little bit different and try and take the black metal formula, if that's the right word to use, and put our own spin on it. And that's why we're not panda painted up. That's why we're not clad in spikes and leather and all that sort of stuff, because that's what the 90s people did. It's not what we're trying to do, and we love all that stuff and we love what we're doing. And, it's kind of incremental, and everyone's kind of building on what that is and shaping what it will become and what it is. So I don't think we're haters in that sense.
No. Alright, well, we'll wrap this up then, because you've got to get on to the next town. Do you have a message right into the camera for all our readers?
I don't know. We're Winterfylleth from Manchester. We're bringing you songs about our love for England and our love for the history and stories of our ancestors and of our people. And we've got a couple of records out on Candlelight Records, so we'd really appreciate if you check us out and maybe think about what we have to say, and hopefully challenge your own opinions about how you think about the world, how you think about culture and society and societal issues, and maybe that'll lead to something positive for you. If it does, then great, and our job's done. So thank you very much.
Alright, have a good rest of the tour, man. Thanks very much.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.